Or if it doesn't, if someone don't do or say or act the way you think they should act, you hate them. And then you blame them for being mad. It's the darndest thing I ever seen. But it's amazing to see it. So relax. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing. I recommend you get a copy of my book, From Rage to Responsibility. I write about how the spirit of anger was taken away from me 29 years ago. I forgave my mother who tried to turn me away from my father, and I returned to my father, and through him, my father on earth, and through him I was able to return to God. No man or woman can return to God unless you go through the Son. And men are sons of God. There may be weak, pathetic examples of it, but it's the spiritual order of life. God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children. So get From Rage to Responsibility. I write about that. Go to my website, rebuildingtheman.com, for an autographed copy, or call 800-411-BOND. And donate to my nonprofit, Bond, the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny. We are rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man.
You know, I'm 32 years old now, and I've been clinically depressed since I was 17 years old. And ever since I started listening to you a couple of months ago, bro, I don't even need to hear the word depression. I don't even care about that, because that's not anything that I identify with anymore.
Nice.
I'm 100% cured. I'm 100% better, because I've been listening to the Jesse Lee Peterson show, and I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate you. And I just can't even, begin to tell you how much I really appreciate the things that you're doing for young men. Young men need to hear this, and young men need to know this message that you're delivering, because it's important. It's vital to their lives, Jesse. I just wanted to let you know that, man.
That's amazing. I mean, you made my day, man. When I hear one soul has returned to the Father, it's like 1,000. It's better than silver and gold. So God bless you, man. Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home. That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby. He's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room,
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border, and then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. They don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. Thank you for tuning in on this fine Monday. It's a pleasure to be back with you today, and I got a bit of a show for you, so we'll get into it, okay? We'll definitely get into it today on the fine Men's History Month Monday. It's a pleasure to be with you. Nice to see you in the chat. Not sure why I'm seeing your names all funny, but whatever. I'll try not to bring attention to it, maybe. But, you know, someone maybe can let me know why that's happening. But it's nice to see everybody. Welcome. Monday's here. I'm the American Anchor Baby, and I think the American Anchor Baby might need a crown act. I might need a crown act of my own to protect my employment because you know, not all of us could just put water in our hair. Okay, not all of us could just put water in our hair and go like this and be ready. Petition to fire the Anchor Baby for wearing Jewish hair. It's wild, maybe. Look, the curl tech is at its worst today, maybe. And when the curl tech is nice, it's like, I don't need a haircut. And then sometimes you wake up like this and you're like, okay, I need a crown act. Like the blacks were doing, we have, this is our natural hair. You're going to make us get weaves and make us perm our hair? That's like damaging to our natural hair. We need a law to protect us. I might need something like that. I think I've said this before, but this is the craziest it's been maybe. And people are trying to say the Anchor Baby has the good hair. And you know what? I'm glad. I'm glad you guys like the mop. Some of you, but by definition, isn't this at least directionally towards bad hair? If we're gonna be accurate here, this is direct. I'm direct. The kinkier it is, right? We're talking about hair. It would be the bad. That's colloquially. I don't think it's bad, right? It's black and beautiful. But that's what they say, right? So to be accurate here, folks, I mean, I don't have the good hair. I only have sort of good hair. Okay? So that's just facts, not necessarily truth. That's just some facts for you. Welcome to the show, 888-775-3773. If you got something on your mind, something you want to talk about, something you want to get off your chest, something you want to mention, there's a number for you, okay? You could call in, you can say hello, you can tell us what's on your mind. But, you know, you don't always have to call. Look, you're here watching. Don't be rude. Click the like button. Say hello to the fine folks in the chat. The snake pit in the chat. Look, just say hi. Even snakes say hi. Even the demons in hell say hello, okay? Sometimes compelled, maybe, like evil people are. But even the demons in hell give their children fish to eat, right? I'm probably butchering the verse heavily, but you understand what I'm saying here. Look, click the like button. Don't be rude. Say hello to the snake pit. And if you're watching the replay, leave a little comment. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. I want to get into a topic that keeps coming up, and I can't help. It's not even that, but I can't help but mention it, talk about it, because it's like we're watching insanity in our face. And I grew up a little different. Like even if there's phoniness in our culture or whatever, we were told to respect each other, right? Treat others how you would like to be treated. I'm trying to bring it back to some simplicity here, and I'm noticing the vast majority are failing that, but they're just fine with it. They're just like smiling and thinking it's great, thinking it's love. Pretty hateful stuff, and it's just on TV, in your face. And it's you can only explain it by with human nature being crazy, being evil, being told things as you're growing up, being told things, false narratives and stories that stick because you're angry. And so it's like, we'll talk about white hate, immigration insanity again, but you'll see that it's like the deepness of it for me is just how insane the mind can be and how insane the world can be. Just how insane we can go along with insanity, calling hate love, and smiling at each other I find it is fascinating, okay? I find it fascinating. And I see calls coming in. I will get to all of you. Thank you. 888-775-3773. Check this out. So there was this Scandinavian airline. Scandinavian Airline, SAS, Scandinavian Airlines. And they put out this commercial that you guys got to see with me. Let's watch this together. They ask, what is truly Scandinavian? They answer their own question. Absolutely nothing. You might know Scandinavia a little bit, maybe. It's a region, a sub-region, some will call it, of Europe. Norway, Sweden, Denmark, up there. Scandinavia. I know some songs in their languages, maybe, some of them. But I was watching this, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. Let me just unmute all this. Unmute. Let's watch this. Let's watch a little bit of this together. Scandinavian Airlines marketing for the people. Check out their message.
What is truly Scandinavian?
Grattis.
Absolutely nothing.
Nada.
Niente.
There is no such thing.
Everything is copied. Our democracy.
Människor som tillsammans formar framtiden.
Credit goes to Greece.
So blame the Greeks. Okay, blame the Greeks. Democracy. Credit goes to Greece. Okay. Not all things were great or perfectly thought of.
Parental leave.
Thank you, Switzerland.
Oh, okay. Blame the Swiss. Parental leave. Oh, great. Adding to, let's just build on the upside down order and put a Band-Aid over it. Let's just give them parental leave, not put the mothers back into the home to raise the children.
The iconic Scandinavian windmills were actually invented in Persia.
All right,
and we
Persians.
made the German bicycle a staple of our cities.
Okay, Germans. Fine. Shout out.
It's Turkish.
Rye bread is Turkish. Okay, so it's apparently a Scandinavian thing. I mean, these following shots of food look particularly Scandinavian. I don't know why it feels that way. You might agree.
What?
Smapple?
Smapple. You Scandinavians, you gotta help me out here. We're gonna look at the smørrebrød. Wow. Basically bread and various traditional open-faced sandwich in Scandinavian cuisines. Traditional Wikipedia. You didn't see the Scandinavian Airlines ad. Traditional Scandinavian food. You didn't see the ad, did you, Wikipedia?
Dutch.
Okay, it's
What
Dutch.
about licorice?
It's Chinese.
Okay.
And
Midsommarstången.
Whatever that is.
German.
Okay.
And it gets worse.
rumor has it the oh-so-Swedish meatballs might not be as Swedish as you think.
Oh, great.
But Turkish.
Even the Danish isn't Danish.
It's Austrian. And the pride of Norway, the paperclip, was actually invented by an American.
Oh, the Americans, the other people with no culture. The other people with no culture, no ties, no anything, no right creations.
And while
I don't know. You're gonna have to help me understand this one.
we're at it, America, thank you for taking the first steps in empowering the women's rights movement.
Ooh. Yeah. I mean, it's cultural. I mean, hey. Blame the Americans. Look, like the Greeks, everybody, look, you do you do amazing things in the world. You do great things and great wrongs, great goods and great wrongs. It's kind of a double-edged sword, huh?
We're no better
Than our Viking ancestors.
Okay. Like, I'm messing around. Like, we're playing around. But look, hold up. Our Viking ancestors, look, you got to tell me who was editing this, storyboarding this. Tell me what your mentality was when you thought of this, little shot.
In empowering the women's rights movement.
We're no better
than our
Viking ancestors.
Ancestors.
We take everything we like on our trips abroad, adjust it a little bit, and voila!
True.
It's a unique Scandinavian thing.
Yeah.
Going out into the world inspires us to think big, even though we're quite small. Because every time we go beyond our borders, we add colors, innovation,
progress.
adding the best of everywhere.
Oh.
Here.
I see.
In a way, Scandinavia was brought here. Piece by piece. By everyday people who found the best of our home away from home.
There was a point the whole time. Infinity immigrants.
We can't wait to see what wonderful things you'll bring home next.
I see. They're just travelers. And this is just an airline company. Whoa, that's right. Oh, yeah, this is an airline ad, by the way. Oh, whoa, I just woke up from a fever dream. Can you guys sell just airline tickets? Oh, man. Let me just move this. So, yeah, you saw some of that. Like, are you really... Now, I don't know much about Scandinavia. I gather there may not be cultural powerhouses of the world, global cultural powerhouses like some others. Huh? Right? Europe, America, and a whole bunch of others too. So, and maybe in some other cultures and nations and stuff kind of take more of a backseat, maybe not to them, probably to each other. No, they're eating their foods and their customs and all that, and they're like, this is us. But fine, in when you're putting together an ad, in this big sense, in this overview sense, maybe they're not a cultural powerhouse. Should they be? Should that be a reason to deny their authenticity all the way to the point of, oh yeah, by the way, that's why you should allow infinity immigrants? It defies logic. It doesn't make any sense. And it's like you could say this about all the cultures. Some sure maybe had more of an impact, right? But whether they had an impact or not, they all remixed, did a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, don't they say this about, like, they challenge this authenticity. Who am I talking about? I guess in this case, it's whatever kind of like liberal like ideology is kind of behind this ad. You notice in the public stage, put it that way, I've heard of similar challenges to authenticity. I mean, they come from a number of places, right? You'll hear it about America, white people, etc. But more recently, kind of like in the news, Ukraine, no? They'll say Ukraine's a borderland. Ukraine's a remix of Russia. But I mean, I was singing a song to some Swedish lady the other day that's like 200 plus years old. And my Swedish was not so bad. So I'm just saying, look, at what point are you going to have kind of like an authenticity? It's kind of audacious, no? But anyways, I mean, it's a matter of like, do they care enough to like keep those customs and fight for that? And so then that becomes an answer that answers itself of why I don't need to care about it, you know? Is it just a borderland, or do they care about Ukraine? Is it just Scandinavian remix stuff, or do they care about Scandinavia? I mean, that's up to them, right? But I find some of this a little crazy. I mean, that's just kind of this ad that was going around. And that's not like I find it egregious, but it's not violent. It's not, at least overtly so. You know, there's other conversations going around, kind of viral. Like the one about innocent white girls at risk from evil brown men. Adam Schwartz, he was going viral for this. I don't even know who this guy is. Adam Schwartz, writer, political commentator, democracy, populism, elections. I guess, I don't know. I don't know how to do Twitter bios, X bios. Maybe you just throw words in, right? That sounds so derisive. Like, This is probably what you do. I really don't know. Populism, elections, policy scrutiny. The guy here is posting something, and he went viral because he's saying that's just it's a narrative, it's BS. That such a thing is true. He says this innocent white girl's at risk from evil brown men. Narrative is poisoning our society. Say it over and over again. There's no evidence that men arriving on small boats are more likely to conduct a crime compared to the rest of the population. Stop this demonstration. And then I guess this is like some newspaper over there. It's gobbledygook for me. It's cod swallowing gobbledygook for me. I don't know what I said there. Top Tories fears for... What's a Tory? Anyways, I could have spent maybe 5 seconds more on that to understand it. He says the narrative has rapidly escalated from we don't know who these people are to we know who these people are and they're evil. The consequences of this racism cannot be controlled. The manufactured public. So, he goes on to say it's just like lies, it's manufactured. There's actually one more interesting thing here. I think someone tried to fact check it with the AI. If we could do a little side note on AI, I mean, it's an interesting thing that's come around. And you have to imagine how many of these conversations go around. It's like, okay, it ends, I'll say, there's no evidence. And it's like, but like there was this news story of this person. So someone in there is like, hey, Grok, tell us the truth here, Grok. What we know about cultures, attitudes, and crime rates, who is more likely to commit a sex crime in the United Kingdom? A native Englishman or a Somalian or Afghan who just arrived in the UK? Before Grok could even get in there, somebody was like, F slurs like you people are always resort to this rubbish. Okay, anyways, Grok gets in there and says, based on UK Ministry of Justice data, Afghan nationals have a sex offense conviction rate 22 times higher than the British citizens. Adjusting this to recent population growth and gives you different things. I ran this through another AI. I had the AI check the AI. And I don't know why trust any of them, right? But what's cool is I did ask it to give me some links here. Let me just check some of this stuff myself. And it gave me some other stuff here. Look, the people over there in the UK, some of the media has attempted to deal with some of this data, okay? And look, you can make the conclusions you want. I just want to present this to you. Because Grok and others are saying it's crazy, right? It's 22 times. It's 22 times. And so we're trying to just even fact check that. And I arrived to Sky News back in, in fact, this is just August 8th. I don't know if this was updated, but look, they were fact checking Nigel Farage. He said something similar. Foreigners more likely to commit sexual offenses. Sky News did you could check it out yourself, but to summarize, they basically said, and I'll give you the kicker here in a moment, that the number of 22 times is overblown because it doesn't, because it uses old numbers of the Afghan population when it was much smaller, which inflates this 22 times higher per capita than British citizens to commit sexual crimes with these Afghans. Now, Sky News went into it. They're like, fact check it. Nigel, I don't know. You didn't get it right. We analyzed the data. This is what we found. Let me give you the kicker, though, because it's true. It seems like it's true about this inflated number, but look what they leave us with. Our estimates conclude that Afghans are actually 3 times more likely to be convicted of a sexual offense than someone born in the UK rather than 22 times, okay? You ridiculous person. They're just 3 times more likely. So calm down, you racists. Like, we fact-checked it. We went in the numbers, tried to get rid of the discrepancies, and we found they're just like 3 times more likely. So what are you freaking out about, buddy? Let in infinity immigrants. There's no evidence. There's no difference, no evidence. You know what I was just thinking too? Kind of a side note about groups, identity, and what's going on. You might be hearing this, like Afghans do this, Pakistanis do that. I was just thinking about identity, you know, and awareness. Consider this. Isn't the moment you see, like, for example, let's say you're like an Afghan. You're in the Afghan community. You grew up with Afghan parents. You're like, yeah, I'm Afghan. I live in the UK, but I'm Afghan, but whatever. But you see that in you. You're like, you're seeing this. They're saying the Afghans do all this. And you could say, no, that's a lie. It's not true. And maybe you're not mad and you just kind of get the facts right, but you see it's 3 times still. And whatever, you just deny it. You're just like, no, they're no different. There's no evidence. You get mad. Okay, that's one thing. Or you can simply see what the Afghans are doing. And in that very moment, tell me where I'm wrong. Wouldn't you be separate? Wouldn't you be, in that very moment, separated? You wouldn't have to defend them or fight anything. You would be separate. You'd be like, wow, look at what these people are doing. And then you don't identify, you don't deny it, you're not doing it, or I don't know, that's maybe a different topic. But you would begin a separation with that. And you wouldn't have to have a crusade. Kind of a side note. So, yeah, no evidence, they say. It's crazy. It's like I'm living in a bizarro world every day. And it shows me how there really is no love in the world. And I'm just kind of interested in kind of not even yelling it, just kind of say, hey, Christians, y'all seeing this? Like, do we know what love is? Like, so whatever, bizarre world, right? Because it's so obvious in your face. And nobody, even Christians, it's hard to say, this is wrong, this is evil. You know, it's White History Month every day. But anyways, we already did White History Month. I want to get to more things. I want to get to calls, super chats, and everybody, 888-775-3773. Appreciate the patience there. I want to get to you. That's true, Hake Report. I was reporting on the DC crime thing the other day, and they kept saying, DC crime is lower. You keep seeing this. It's like, but the DC crime is lower. Why? I think Tony from California called JLP today. Proof he is just a CNN repeater. Why is Trump trying to put the National Guard in the DC trying to protect what? The crime has gone down. It does not matter how many stats you show me that crime has gone down, because when you don't have, when people are not dealing with reality, things don't change. It's that simple. I mean, you can you could mess with the levers of crime and be tough and all you want, but if at the core you are afraid of dealing with black crime, then black crime will not be dealt with. And you can bring down the percentages all you want, but should you go down the wrong street and meet with the wrong blacks, it's going to be issues, you understand? So it doesn't matter whatever stats they give you. It's BS. And that's DC. We're talking about DC there. I know this was the UK. So whatever. Look, I want to get to calls. I'll leave you with this. Let's leave Europe. Let's fly out of Europe. You know what someone said the other day? I'll tell you more on that later. Look, let's fly out of Europe with this one. Last clip, I'll leave you with this one. Since we're done with Europe here. UK police. I'll leave you with a little clip, and then we'll do calls right after. Door cam cop in trouble after being caught saying visit to warn father about attending anti-migrant protests was bogus speech, possibly. I don't know what B word they censored there, but check it out. Let's watch this together. A little bit of swearing, by the way. Look, we got to deal with it. F-bombs incoming. But as you heard, that's from Daily Mail. This cop is serving something to this resident to warn him, because they became aware that he's going to attend something here. It's like, what? 1984, blah, 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 you know. Let's watch.
We will no longer be silenced, and to fuck himself. From me, with love. Cheers. Thanks very much. With love. Yeah, with love. Yeah. Cheers.
With love. Hello, he said with love. Okay, that was just kind of like a little preview. It gave you kind of like a little high point. Here's kind of the moment.
It's you right.
Yeah, what's up?
Absolutely nothing, so don't panic. It's just a very quick one. I appreciate you're at work. But Warwickshire have asked me to come round and just basically, it's a load of bollocks, mate, but it's about this protest tomorrow in Warwickshire.
Yeah.
Oh, he said, am I allowed to say that? I'm in America. I think I'm allowed to say it. Bollocks.
And just saying, obviously, that they're aware that you might be wanting to attend.
I think I'm allowed to say that until someone tells me what it means. Okay, I told myself in my mind I would not pause. Let's go.
Saying, obviously, that they're aware that you might be wanting to attend that planned protest, and obviously that's absolutely fine. You've got a freedom of speech, and that's no issues at all. And all they've asked me to do, mate, it sounds daft, so I apologise, and it's really woeful. It's not something I agree with, but I've been asked to do it. It's just to drop a leaflet about being involved in a protest. It sounds bad, but it is what it is.
Do me a favour. Take it back to them and
Yes,
write
mate.
back on it to them. Say, we will no longer be silenced, and to fuck themselves. From me, with love. Cheers. Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Yeah, with love. Yeah. Because
Cheers, dude.
the silent majority of Britain will no longer stay silent. Tell them that. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you. You make sure you tell them that. I mean, it's just so polite. Or maybe I'm just maybe I'm adding all sorts of politeness simply from an accent, and that's in fact very impolite. I'll say that. But yeah, Warwickshire, where are they? They're a place out of Birmingham, England. Very cool. Accents, I mean. But not very cool what's happening here, right? So I apologize. It's not something I agree with. And, they're reporting that this guy's under investigation. In trouble, they're saying. Last night, reform leader. Oh, no, that's something else. But the Daily Mail reports this man is possibly in a little bit of trouble over this. Warwickshire police. The UK, I mean, don't scoff and cringe at South America and America, England and America, London and New York. Okay? So anyways, let's move it on here. I want to get to some calls. Appreciate the patience here. Let's start with Jamie out of Atlanta, Georgia. How you doing, sir? On the air.
What's up, man? How you doing, Nick?
All is well, Jamie.
Hey, this stuff that's going, what you're playing over there in Europe. This is that guy that was Schwartz, I believe was his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the reason, what name that is, right?
Is it Jewish?
You know it's
You're making
Jewish.
me think it's Jewish the way you're saying this.
You know it's Jewish, and that's the reason why all of these. That it is. That's the reason why all these third world countries are being allowed to come into the white European countries, because they're trying to destroy white European countries, because white Christians are the enemy of the Jewish people. They do not like white Christians. They don't like white Christian males, and they're trying to destroy our country. But what I called about, I was wanting to know how you felt about Donald Trump bringing in the National Guard into Washington, D.C. and nationalizing D.C. What do you think's going on with that?
I think do it. Let's go.
Yeah, I think it's good too.
I mean, look, it's a federal. Like, people want to. They want to like. I'm just seeing some of the defenses here. They're saying, but it's a federal district. Trump has every right. I don't even care about all that. I don't care about all that. I want someone to handle crime and make things right across the nation. I don't care if it's a state anymore. But we can maybe talk about that. We can maybe talk about that. I'm not president, but
you're gonna have a lot of people that are gonna come out and go, "Oh, it's racist. Trump is trying to lock up, brown people, people of color." Well, this is what you need to tell the people of color and the brown people: stop breaking the damn law. If you don't want to get locked up, stop breaking the damn law. It's real simple. And all of these politicians that are hollering about the gerrymandering that's going on in Texas down there, they're going, "Oh, that's illegal," and then they're talking about, "We're going to do it in our states." Newsom's
right.
talking about doing it. Oh, I thought you just said it was illegal. So you're going to break the law? Why don't these reporters ask these politicians this stuff when they say it? Oh, Texas is breaking the law, but we're going to break the law. I thought you said they're breaking the law. Half of these politicians need to be drug out, horsewhipped, and put in prison for the crimes that they've done against this country, sending our money over to Israel, sending our money to the UK, sending our money to this, that, and the other. Stop taking our tax dollars and doing this crap. If our founding fathers were still around, these people would be hung for traitors. What do you think about that? Hey, and you
I hear, man, Jamie, thanks.
You hung up on me last time. You said, Jamie.
Yeah, I remember now who you are.
said,
Now that when I took your call, your voice definitely reminded me because you were like streaming and doing the whole thing. So at no point in bringing it up again. I mean, you were having a fine call where why even bring it up again?
I just want to know why because you
can't go on my show and promote your stuff and like do your thing. I'm doing my show. It's better if you reach out to me and that way we could collaborate. Like have you as a guest or something. That's how you properly do things. That's why.
I have tried to reach out.
Jamie, just drop it. You would just call my show when you have a question or comment, and that's it.
Yeah, you don't return calls.
You said what?
I said you don't return calls because I reached out to you.
Oh, you did? Did you reach out to radio@jesseleepeterson.com?
Yes, I did.
And I may have seen it, but I may not be interested. I think I may have responded to you, but I may not just be interested in having you as a guest at the moment. But besides that, that's just how it goes. You call my show here to have a question or comment, man. Appreciate it, Jamie.
Thank you, Nick.
You call me again. Thank you.
Later.
All right, cool. 888-77. That's cool. That's how we handle it. I want to get back to calls. I do. Don't go anywhere. And then super chats and all that. I mean, check this out. Where were we here? We're talking about, we mentioned, what did he mention? Wait, did he even mention race mixing? I don't think Jamie did. But look, I had a story for you here. Because, Jamie's here. In fact, Jamie's here. He calls and he's saying the Jews, this and that. And I hear stuff on the internet. Personally, I let it go through one ear, out the other. I notice the spirit behind a lot of people sometimes. And I see anger. And so that you don't go around trusting that. And so this is how I operate. I don't need to load myself up on all these facts about people. People think that's what Jesse does with black people. And it's so far from the truth. It's so wrong. They think he's full of facts about stats and facts and crime, and it's so not what he does. And so I just don't feel the need to fill myself with facts about the Talmud and all that. I can just see people. I can just see people operate, okay? I know that liberals and anti-racists, I know how they are already. I know where it comes from. And I can see them in operation and see what they say today. I don't need to look up some... And I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying I don't need to, right? I have everything within me right now to deal with the life in front of me right now. I don't need to go into the Talmud and research what they did to Jesus. I could deal with it right here. And that being said, they say this and that about the Jews. And they say, the Jews, they're fine with all mixing and the whites mixing, and it's better that they do that. It's that way they're not as strong. That's kind of like the farthest I've heard for the so-called justification of Jewish support for this miscegenation. Is that the word? Now, you hear these things, right? And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then the ADL CEO, Jonathan Greenblatt, which we know a little bit, comes around and absolutely does the worst PR. I don't know what it is. Should a group have PR? Maybe not. I don't know. But should you have a PR person, Jews? It's not. You got to talk to Jonathan Greenblatt here, because he's out here doing some interview with somebody. In an interview with the Jewish newspaper, the Allgemeiner, released on Thursday, he lamented that intermarriage rates are continuing to rise among Jews. That's the Anti-Defamation League CEO. And I'm like, okay, what is this, bro? Somebody talk to Jonathan. And so let's just watch him say this a little bit.
The massacre on October 7th was a wake-up call. I've met a lot of people who feel much more galvanized, much more organized. But that will only be sustained if we offer them, ways to participate in a real and robust way in Jewish life.
Mm-hmm. And whose responsibility is that? In essence?
All of ours. Yeah. But this is why we need a revolution in our community on so many levels. So look, the reality is that intermarriage rates continue to go up. assimilation continues apace. And look, I fight anti-Semitism. That is my job.
Right.
But I worry a great deal about broader questions of Jewish identity, as I think we talked about over lunch.
Wait, did he say it? Intermarriage rates, right? Yeah, he did. So I thought it was just funny. I mean, just interesting, a little bit hypocritical. You know, they have this thing on the ADL, no race mixing. It's a hate symbol. They call it hate. It's white supremacists fear and hate the concept of multiracial couples, relationships, or families. They fear and hate it. You know, see how much they add to it? That you fear and hate it. Phobia, homophobia. You hate and you're scared of gay people. Relationships or families, believing that such relationships pollute the pure white race. I don't know why I'm laughing. That's not a joke, right? I don't know. I'm just thinking about my callers, and I'm thinking about how funny the world is, honestly. As a result, a fairly common white supremacist symbol depicts a multiracial couple or family with a red circle/bar superimposed over the depiction, indicating that such relationships ought to be prohibited. And, okay, whatever. Additional images for you, just so you know. These are hate symbols. Except when Jonathan Greenblatt is talking about the Jews. And you know what? I'm watching this, and I'm thinking, this is normal, sort of. Some of this. Allow me to explain. But, you know, he's saying we care about each other. We should maintain that. A whole bunch of us, you know, realize that, you know, people don't like us over October 7th. I mean, that's just a fact. I mean, white people, can't you relate? I'm just, Nick, why are you asking us to relate? Have some understanding. Look, you guys want the same thing, sort of. I don't know if all the way, and in the ways that y'all are different, I say we celebrate it. But that being said, you could understand this, right? I mean, this wanting to strengthen each other and all that. So that was one thing I was thinking. You know, here's another thing I was thinking, though. When I was watching this, I don't know about you guys, when he said, our culture needs a revolution, what we need is a revolution, and the other guy's like, who's going to be responsible? He's like, all of us. I don't know about you guys. Did you guys not have this feeling of just, like, who wants to do that? Who would want to do that? What a bore. Maybe not a bore, but what's the word I'm looking for? It just seems like what a hassle, what a trouble to even go through it for what? We need to all be responsible to galvanize for a revolution. It's like, let me worry about me. You know what I mean? It's like, bleh. And it's like, I don't know if real leaders and revolutionaries for Jesus, I'll add caveats because that can be bad sometimes. So we're going to make it good by saying Jesus. Revolutionaries and leaders, I don't think they go around thinking we need a revolutionary leader. But that's just me. I just think, what a bother. We need a revolution. Didn't you instantly go, bleh? No, I'm getting tired just from listening to you say that. Let me deal with me. We need a revolution in our people because we're starting to marry each other a bunch. Look, I'm not saying you can't say that. That's fine. It's kind of a travesty, maybe, you know, when it happens to Jews and when it happens to whites, like I've been saying. But I mean, I think I would feel equally for anybody that this is happening to, no? Isn't that having a little bit of love or what? I don't know if you should feel bad for them, but just understand. Wouldn't you understand that if it's happening to anybody? Isn't that understanding? All right, chat, tell me. A couple of you have blamed me for the usernames in the chat, and I'm wondering, do I have control over this? Because I don't think I did this on purpose. Am I able to change it back? Change it back! The YouTube chat is looking funny. I don't know. Same thing happened on the Bond channel. Okay, it might not be me. So whatever. That was the ADL. I thought that was funny. Make it better, Knit. I'm trying. What do you mean, Chris? Why don't you call me? I don't know what you mean. 888-775-3773. meet you halfway. I don't know what you mean. Nothing like a fat old man talking about how we need a revolution. What's up, Doom Jesus? Shout out to the cult, eh? I don't know if I should say that, but it means family. It means us. It means my, fans, like core viewers. It means us. But I'm not into all this like culty Christian stuff, if you know what I mean. But anyways, thank you, Jesus Christ, in the chat. Shout out everybody else. And thank you. Appreciate it. Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. All my lovely viewers, you guys are popping off there, talking a bunch. The viewership grows, and the leg room gets a little bit smaller. But shout out, rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. And of course, punchy.tv/Anchor Baby, definitely live there. And I appreciate everybody making an account there. Now let's see what else. Oh yeah. We got to get to super chats. We got to get to more calls. So we'll do all that in a sec. Amazing. So, in fact, we just did a story. Let's get to William out of California, man. Appreciate the patience, and you're on the air.
Hey, Nick, how was your weekend, buddy?
Great. No complaints. It was awesome.
That's nice. Cool. I went to the big concert out here at the beach. It was a lot of acts I've never heard of out at the Outside Lands, the Golden Gate Park.
It was called Outside Lands?
Yeah, they have it every year.
Oh, cool.
Time flies, Nick. I didn't know half the people that was on that stage.
Oh, yeah? I'm trying to pull up the lineup now.
Yeah, pull up the line. It's a lot of stuff I didn't really recognize, but it was nice.
Okay, yeah. Tyler, the Creator, Doja Cat. I mean, they're big names. You may have heard of them, but I don't know if you go around listening to anything.
Doja Cat, I've heard. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard of Doja Cat. Yeah.
Yep.
Who else was there?
That's cool.
Yeah. We just sat outside. We didn't even go in. We just sat in the Golden Gate Park and you could hear it.
Yep.
So,
Ludacris?
Ludacris, yeah, he was there.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of acts.
Oh, I don't think I can say this one. Mannequin. We'll call it. I cannot say that. I can't say some of these names, sir.
I might have even missed some of the big names. Who knows? But there was quite a few acts out there.
Yeah, it looks like a big show, but nice. Well, shout out to that.
300,000 people.
Nice little, nice weekend, man. Very nice.
Mm-hmm. It was okay. Nothing. I didn't hear anything bad happening, which is a good thing.
At this event?
Yeah. I didn't get beat up for being the only black guy out there, i.e. Cincinnati. So I didn't see any of that. So
nice.
But I wanted to touch on something that you were talking about earlier with what you were asking. What do people think about federalizing the police department and the territory of the D.C. Diamond?
That's right.
That area. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. And I heard Tony, I guess he looks at CNN News, but Mayor Bowser was talking about their crime has been going down. But as you know, with the defunding the police and these liberal judges, they don't really report the crime. And she gave
huge
numbers.
Point, actually.
Yes, and she gave disingenuous numbers because she said crime was going down. And everybody, of course, black that looks at CNN looked at that and says, well, Trump is over, he's stepping over his line. No, not really. She can go back to balancing the water bills and everything that you do with the cities and sitting mayors do. He can actually do that because D.C. is not a state, and it happens to be the capital. So he can federalize the city. That's why she's trying to, fool her followers with that. But it's not, it's what Tony was citing this morning is not true at all. Because those are numbers, those numbers that she was talking about, crime going down, those are numbers from the Biden administration.
There's something so dark about it, too, because there's another thing.
Well, the 2025 numbers haven't come out yet.
I thought you were done. Apologies.
Oh, no. You go ahead.
No. I just wanted to quickly say that the darker side of it too is that it's what she's trying to hide is a failure, right? It's like, okay, yeah, people are dying and getting robbed and all that, then let's hide that.
Yeah. And the 2025 numbers have not come out yet, so that's how disingenuous that was for her to say that. Those are the numbers from Biden's administration. And if anybody has ever been to D.C., the Capitol area where the White House and all of those buildings, the historical part of it, it is absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful place. But outside of that, they call it some kind of a diamond shape. It's northeast, southeast, southwest. D.C. is I'd have to say well over 60% or 70% black. And Washington, D.C. was from the early 90s till now, has always been a serious killing zone.
I didn't know that.
They have assassins that are 12 years old out there that get paid to kill. So they have a big drug market and high crime. And all you have to do is just look into the inner city of D.C. It's not like the Capitol.
Wow. You know what? Actually, I think I heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard something about D.C. being...
It's one of the most deadly cities in America. Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Maryland, that whole area is bad, man. I'm telling you. It'll make you.
I didn't realize it was like that. Where you think of bad. Washington D.C. like the same way you'd say Chicago and Baltimore, like you said.
It's on that level. It's pretty bad. Pretty corrupt too. So I mean, that's really corrupt for her to say that the numbers are going down when she's using numbers from the Biden administration, and the numbers for 2025 haven't even got out yet. We're not finished with 2025. So that was just a lie. And what Tony was talking about was. It's a lie. It's a lie. The hell with it. It's a lie. Just it's a straight up lie.
With confidence. That's the part that gets me.
Thing is,
with total confidence.
You can look at the news. Yeah, I know. And it's like you look at the news, but sometimes you got to use your common sense on what you're looking at. Does it make any sense?
But if I had that same confidence, I might be the ruler of the world. Just to be able to bare-faced lie like that. Oof.
Like you said last week, you said it's really strange. I have to go down that rabbit hole again. You were talking about why people hate the Jews so much, and so even some Israeli people are going against the prime minister for finishing off the job. Right?
Yeah.
You know what that really is? This will make it real simple for you. They have liberals that are. Just like over here, we got liberals that are so against their own country that they would actually side with the enemy. Like we have hippies. We have hippies out here, orange hair, nose ring. We got all those kind of people with, walking sandals on. Weird. We got that over here too. What they call them, Antifa. Mm-hmm. We got all of these kind of people over here too. Well, they got some over there in Israel too. But the thing about it,
it's contentious. Like it's not like a little bit. Like they're like, we're going to put this guy.
There's a lot of them. Yeah, but see, the goofy part about it, Nick, is the person that's trying to protect you, you're going against. Just like. Some callers call in and they have this wimpy voice and I don't think they should go to war. Well, war got you the country that you live in right now, and the world is shaped the way it is because of war. And it's like, why are you worried about it? You're not in the military and you may not even be getting called. But if we do get a draft again, it's usually people that age that if they did have a draft, they would be called. They just don't want to stop playing with their Xboxes, and that's the way it goes. They wouldn't call me. I'm too old. So
that's why I'm a Netanyahu holdout. Maybe because I've also listened to a whole bunch of the Hake Report, but I gather like for all the things that may be wrong, he does seem to. He might be the only guy protecting them, and it pisses off the world, by the way. And it may not even be in our interest, but that's just how I see it. That's just how I see it.
But think about it. You know, they supply Israel a lot. This country does, and Israel takes care of a lot in return over in the Middle East.
I hear you. Okay.
So it's give. You know, and they have certain people in Israel that are against him, but he is the only one that can protect you and win that thing and get it over with. We have people over here that are like that too. Well, I don't believe in the U.S. government. I don't like us going over there messing with this and messing with that. And the United States puts their nose in things that they need to put their nose in, and there's always a return.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a return. What is it? Natural resources, oil, food, grain, rice. There's always a return.
Yeah, it's a negotiation. I just want our people to be tough, and I just want to be able to trust that we'll get the right deal. But okay, I got you, Will. Thanks for trying to clear that up. I think you understood what it was I was presenting you, and if I didn't, and so thanks for trying to clear that up.
You were trying to connect the dots.
Yeah,
you were trying to connect the dots about, wait a minute, how we got Israelis going against him. Well, they got liberals over there.
Yeah.
And liberals are usually people with nose rings and big afros and don't like America and still living here. Still eating off the government. They hate the government. But most of the people that say that usually are living off of them.
Fair enough.
You know, and people that, you know, like pro-black, all of that stuff, that usually, as far as black people go, if they have something going on with their life, Nick, they don't, if you notice. If they have something going on with their lives, they don't talk about racism. It's only the losers that do that.
Fair enough. They might call that motion, which may be the antithesis to racism.
You think about that. Look at some of the most
more like you don't have time
blacks.
for that when you got motion.
Well, I mean, if you notice that there's blacks that not all blacks are degenerate like that, and if you notice the ones that are not, don't talk about that. Did you notice that?
No, I do.
They're the first ones to look at other blacks and say, "Oh, shut up! You don't know anything about slavery."
Yeah, you know.
You have never been exposed to Jim Crow. You have never been told to go to the back of the bus. You have never been told to walk on the other side of the street. Never. Nobody that me and you talk to today. That's a fact.
Fair enough.
Anybody ever told you to go to the back of the bus, Nick?
Not me.
Anybody ever told you can't come in this restaurant except the back door?
No.
So what are they talking about?
Not the anchor baby. And not my family either, to be honest, though. None of my family members could say that.
None of my older family members either. I've never heard none of my parents and none of my grandparents, uncles, aunts, none of them talk about that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Never. And so when you get people that do, it's going to be because they don't have their lives together.
Fair enough, William. Yeah, I agree. I got to say I agree.
Mm-hmm. Okay, man. I'll
Can
talk to you later.
Again?
I definitely will. You know that.
All right. Call me again.
Okay. All right.
888-775-3773. You know, I got something for you on that. Look, it's like actually a huge point on this lack of reporting and all that. It's actually a major point, and the corruption goes deeper than you think. Look, I got into this starting with this thread here on X. Someone had posted, breaking. It has been revealed that D.C. Police Commander Michael Pulliam was placed on leave after he and MPD Command directed officers to downgrade felony reports and alter crime classifications, such as felony assault, deliberately manipulating data to falsely show a 26% drop in violent crime in 2024. Now, that's according to Right Angle News Network. And that was just kind of where this starts. And we got NBC on it. Okay, just so you can see. Okay, we also got Adblock on it. Okay, folks, you're gonna have to wait. DC Police Commander suspended, accusing of changing crime statistics. Look, that's kind of where this starts, right? cooking the books. And then I came across this little story of a one little Target in San Francisco. One tiny little Target shop, not all the Targets, one Target. You have a graph here. It says monthly shoplifting incidents reported to the San Francisco Police Department. A little graph here. 2018, 2019, 2020, keeps going. You get this huge spike. This huge spike right here that doubled in September, then fell back in October. So it's like, it's going on, it kind of goes down, it goes back up, and then crazy spike. What happened there? What happened at this particular Target? Did the store see a huge spike in shoplifting in September? No, said the store manager, Stacy Abbott. The store was simply using a new reporting system implemented by the police that allows retailers to report crime incidents over the phone. Basically, they were allowed to more accurately report shoplifting. And the moment this one Target was able to report that, the overall shoplifting rate for all of San Francisco doubled. The shoplifting rate for all of San Francisco doubled when this one Target accurately reported shoplifting. And I could be wrong. It may have changed that back. Like they weren't allowed to do that anymore, but I don't want to say wrong information here. So that was just interesting. Look, this cooking the books thing, you know, underreporting, it's very significant how how it really does skew the view of this when you go with facts, so-called facts in this case. So-called facts. Cool. So what else about that one? That's pretty much it with that one. What else? Yeah, cooking the books. And then, I mean, that was San Francisco, right? That's not D.C. But you got to understand just how bad it could be with the so-called facts, the so-called numbers. And then you going back to D.C. with this Michael Pulliam, you know, besides the, you know, faulty reporting, old procedures, whatever, falling through the cracks. This is like overt, actively altering crime classifications, which just so happened to end up with a positive number for the administration. You know, this is what I'm getting at. Oh, when Tony calls in and says, "Oh, but the mayors and the officials of D.C. are in charge of that," they're not, and they're actively hiding it. How badly they've, you know, bungled their position of custodialship. You understand? Anyways, Golden Gate, I guess we were just talking about San Francisco. Yeah, I wonder, I know Doja Cat, this is the concert he's talking about. I know Doja Cat, I know Tyler, the Creator, Vampire Weekend, really? I was just talking about hipsters and the hipster resurgence, hipster revival that's happening. Look at them go. Vampire Weekend, what are they doing? Vampire Week, no, let's not do that. I was going to search Vampire Weekend wearing Toms. But let's let go of the hipster era and the Toms shoes altogether. And let's just move on. Okay? I appreciate the support here. I want to get to some of these super chats, actually. Renesio, man, did I read this one on Friday? I don't think you missed the Tool talk. We were talking about Tool, the band, and lyrics spurred on by someone, a very generous coffee donor, Eric, who was telling us about rap music. You know, it's all crap, basically. It's just ego on steroids. That was great. Thank you for that, Renesio. Appreciate the generosity. I think you enjoyed the Tool talk. That was on Friday. It was fun. Very nice. We got, hold up. Appreciate that, Mark. Thank you so much. Says, this is all ego. Mwahaha. But it's your boys B-Day. Hey, the big 4-0 and going for 40 more on the right path. Thank you, Bond and Jesse, man. Mark, happy birthday to you, man. Appreciate the support, as always. There you go. Look at that chat. Happy birthdays in the chat. 07s and all that. Balloons in the chat. Make it happen. Very cool, Mark. Happy birthday. I want to be careful with names. It's all usernames now. And I don't know if I'm going to dox people. I'm just going to say Z. Thank you, man, for the super chat. Says, hey, this is unrelated, but you should watch the movie I put in Discord. Back to the show. Thanks, Z. I'll check it out. Best band ever. Nit listens to Doja Cat religiously. Amazing. All right, cool. Thanks for being in the chat. Let's get to something else here, a little something different. You know what? What I want to do next here? I kind of have a few options here, actually. Got some fun stuff. Here, we did target and crime reporting. Let me organize myself here. Crime. We done did it. How about we do this? Okay, yeah, let's do this. This is more fun. I wonder why, since balloons were mentioned maybe, huh? That was kind of funny. We might need to go to the full video of this. I hope we can find it. I wonder how we would even be able to find this. But basically, if you ever seen these dating shows, they'll line up some women or line up some men, and they'll have a balloon. Okay? They'll have a balloon. They'll bring in the subject, have them answer some questions, etc. And usually I guess those are all the bachelors or bachelorettes, I guess, will hold the balloon and pop it when they have heard or seen something they don't like that is a deal breaker, whatever it is. Whatever it is, they basically decide yay or nay on this person. Are they interested? Do they want to even talk to them further? Should they pop the balloon? They're saying no, they're not into that person. So this is that. This is a dating show, okay? It's kind of a funny one. It's just kind of a funny clip. I want to know, chat, why do you think this guy popped the balloon? I mean, and while we watch, I'm going to try and find it because I'm hoping the long one is even funnier. Let's see here. I don't know how we'll find it, but look, let's just watch this one. Tell me, chat, why do you think this fella popped the balloon so quick?
Someone who has a relationship with God, however that may look like for you.
Oh, he's
That nigga's
he's
standing on it.
He's standing on it.
That nigga's standing on it.
He's standing on business. He's getting the side eye from this other young gentleman who has not popped the balloon. He's wondering too, why you pop that balloon so fast? She's talking about having a relationship with God. Someone who has a relationship with God.
Someone who has a relationship with God, however that may look like for you. That nigga's standing on it.
Can we find this balloon?
That nigga's standing on it.
The man, if I may translate, the man is saying that this individual is in fact standing on business. And he's laughing. So he's standing on it. I may have even found it. Did I find it? I found the young lady running the dating show. Pop the balloon or find love. Let me spend 30 more seconds on this. If I don't find it, it doesn't matter. Arlette Amuli. Relationship with God. Here we go. Now, why do you think, Chad? I think we found it. Chad, why did he pop the balloon? Why was he so quick?
All right, so why'd you end up popping your balloon?
Now let's find the lady. Here she is, young black lady. beautiful black lady. Okay, let's see here. Boom. I have not seen this, folks. Out of pure curiosity, let's watch this together. I just want to know. I mean, he doesn't want the Christian wives. He wants to do dirty things. He's a hedonist? He's a Satanist, right? Or I don't know. Can we even find out in this next little bit? We're doing this live, folks.
All right, let's bring out our next single lady. What's your name?
Deja.
Deja, how old are you?
25.
25. And where are you from?
I'm from Kansas City, but I currently live in Dallas.
Okay. And what do you do?
I'm a social worker. I work with children, like with mental health and behavioral problems.
Okay. What are some things you like to do for fun?
I skate. I ride. I got a bike. I got an e-bike, so I ride my bike. Pretty much anything active. I do a lot of walking. I go to the gym.
Active, okay.
Stuff like that. Just anything kind of like interactive to keep me moving.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you look for in a man?
Someone who is
She might be a little nervous.
kind, not just to like the person you're dating, but to everyone. Someone who is intentional.
Pop. Intentional.
Someone who is ambitious and goal oriented.
Oh no.
Someone who has a relationship with God, however that may look like for you. What else? Yeah, I think.
Okay.
I think that's good. Okay.
What are some of your deal breakers?
I haven't seen this, folks. We're watching this together.
Rappers, scammers. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh. I did not expect that.
What else?
Are they saying they're rappers and scammers? Hey, I'm a scammer, lady. You don't like it? I'm popping this balloon right now. Might as well save us the time. I don't know. What am I supposed to assume here, folks? But okay, how about we just skip to the fella who popped it over the God question.
Thank you. Let's head down here. Your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
Xavier, I'm 26. I mainly don't have a relationship with God. I'm spiritual. So I do believe in every relationship. I'm in every religion, but like I'm not really too keen on religions at the moment. And then low-key, the deal breaker, I mean, I don't have kids. I want my own kid. Like, I want my kid to be your first kid at the same time. Like, I have no problem with you having a kid personally.
Oh.
But
she had already said she had a kid? I mean, he did it, and he didn't pop the balloon?
That's another thing.
Because he popped it when she said relationship with God.
That's about it.
Okay. Yeah. And
okay. I mean, that's fair. Look. That's fair. Look. That's actually not bad advice. Look. If you're like, oh, okay, you just gotta get married and do that. Avoid someone who had been married. Avoid someone who has children already. That just doesn't make sense. That just doesn't make sense. You don't need to do that. Heads up. Oh, oops. Let's close this. Sorry, YouTube. But anyways, I was thinking, whatever to his answer. Like, not sure what I was expecting, but it was pretty run of the mill. Just like, I don't know, just you're too Christian, right? Too close-minded. You're so open-minded. I'm such an open-minded fella, maybe. See, I was thinking, I'd pop the balloon. I heard, I'm just looking for a godly man. I'm a Christian woman looking for. I'd pop that balloon because that's a red flag, honestly. Like, seeking a godly that fits this Christian. Haven't you met the nuttiest people like that? Sorry, that's just some of the nuttiest people I know. That's a personal thing anyways, no? That's a personal thing anyways. I've also met some of the most judgmental people in that way that are like, okay, I need you to be godly. Okay, who's deciding that? And did you read your Bible? I mean, if someone's going to decide, it's not you. I don't know if the guy decides either, but it's definitely not her. But look, it's just silly. So that's why I'd pop it, not for his reasons. And I think you'd probably avoid problems. I mean, you'd probably avoid problems by not going on this show. Looking for love. Looking for love. What are you looking for? What a silly thing to look for. I mean, you can't even describe it. You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know what to look for. I don't know if that's how that works, folks. So a whole show about looking for it, yeah, you're going to find yourself in some trouble, I think. So relationship with God, balloon pop. That one I thought was funny. I thought that one was silly. But what are y'all saying? So true, Nit. I'm telling you. So true. And I was thinking, a part of me was hoping he was thinking something like that, like, oh, I know Christian women. And I'm talking about, like, I don't know. You may have heard it sometimes. Bible thumping, God fearing, with the, just the spirit running through. I also just didn't even grow up like that, so why would I even be interested? But I'm just also suspicious, like it's dangerous. So anyways, looks like you all would pop it too, maybe some of you. Nick, get more seasonal decorations. What are you talking about? Oh, what season are we in? Is it time to decorate? When do you start doing that? Oh, yeah. August, September, October. We got some time, right? Halloweening it up. Thanksgiving it up. Christmasing it up. Right? What's the date? When you do that? When do you do that? Some people got this down. Some people are better on that. But it might be too early. What do you do in August? Yeah, I think it's too early. Amazing. All right, let's do something else kind of interesting. Let me see. I got like a couple of fun, kind of just chill clips here. And then maybe another topic here. Let's see here. What do I want to do? Because I know they got these self-driving trucks. Have you seen these? It's kind of just a cool video. When I thought of self-driving trucks, I didn't think it would look like this. But fully autonomous cargo truck without an interior driving in China. Whoa. Allegedly. Is this video AI? All data you see on screens are suspect. Okay, folks? All video is simply data, simply ones and zeros. It can't be falsified. It can be falsified.
It's the same old theme since 1916. In your head, in your head.
I didn't expect the zombie cover, okay, folks? We're doing that again.
In your head, they're still fighting with their tanks and
their bones and their guns and their bones. The music. Oh, it's hardstyle. They hit us with the hardstyle remix. I'm into hardstyle again right now, just because of reasons we can't get into right now. But they did it. They hit it with the hardstyle music. So this goes hard, just by definition. Yeah, driverless cabs, just cargo trucks going around. I mean, we need to get one, no? Invest on a few of these. Run your business. You want to be ahead of the curve, maybe? Now, you won't be... I mean, look, you're a driver. You're out there trucking, driving. Now, you'll be an owner. Maybe. I don't know. I think it might be far away. But I just don't know. It's just videos coming around that are pretty cool. I mean, I just hadn't seen this, and I didn't think they would look like this. I thought I had one more for you here. Driverless cargo. Yeah. Yeah. This is the one I saw.
It's a self-driving truck. No driver's seat. It's from...
Jeez.
China. It's a self-driving truck. No driver's seat. It's from China.
Ban driver's license? What do you mean? Are we back in 2008? Is this an old video? Is this super old? 2008, China. What? I refuse to believe you. Well, you're not even saying that. Ram it. Brutally killing that great song. You didn't like the hardstyle remix? You didn't like the Zombies hardstyle? I don't think that's what she meant. I don't think she meant for that vibe when they originally wrote that song, maybe. But I bet you they appreciated it if they heard it. Cranberries, the Cranberries. I'd be the one to join the show and pop my balloon, then walk down the line popping the rest of the balloons. Then we go back to the hood. Nice, Jep. Very nice. I was referring to the music. Nice, Nugget Man. Yes. 2008 is in fact back. I don't know if you knew this. All you got to do is search ultra rare hardstyle on YouTube, and you'll know that what I'm saying is true. And then you need to go and lift heavy. But just search ultra rare hardstyle. You'll know that the legend of Ziz is still alive. If you know what the heck I'm talking about. He was like a bodybuilder back in the day. Kind of in the internet era. Kind of like hit the scene and like kind of got a whole bunch of young guys into this bodybuilding scene, right? The Arnold eras and all that is kind of dead. The internet's hitting. And in fact, people still say things he says, like, we're all going to make it. You know, oh, you're not going to make it, we're going to make it. That came from Ziz. He was some Australian bodybuilder, if you know what I'm talking about. He died at 22 years old, died young. Ziz. And a whole bunch of young guys got into that whole movement. He called it a revolution, a movement. And he was Australian. You're a sick, I can't say what he says. You're a sick runt. You're a sick runt, except it's not runt. And a whole bunch of young men wanted to, realize their potential. Could you call it a movement? Does it continue today? I don't know. What is that anyways? Potential. But, yeah. Some of you might even know what I'm talking about. But that's from years ago. Yeah, and for some reason, Ziz edits and like bodybuilding and hardstyle is like back somewhat. So. And they're talking about being Riz like a Chad. I got news for you. Nobody's going to make it, says Doom Jesus. Full of doom. Just full of doom. We're all going to make it. We're all going to make it, you sick runt. So anyways, shall we move on? He died in Thailand from drug overdose. It's hard to say. I mean, the guy was 22 years old on openly talking about performance enhancement drugs. And the guy wanted to be just aesthetic, brah. Just absolutely aesthetic. And I don't know, you look at this guy, I'm like, does that guy even look like a 22-year-old? Like, maybe you age yourself or you do something with you. You do something to yourself, man. There's risks with this stuff. And I don't know if his brother's going to last much longer. I don't know if I should say that, but he's got a brother who's looking like Rich Piana. You wonder, why does Ziz die and not his brother? What's his name? Saeed Shahasan? Whatever. His brother's not looking... His brother's looking like Rich Piana, if you guys even know any of these guys. Bodybuilding world. And Rich Piana, he was a big guy too. He died at 40 years old. 40-something years old. You just never think, right? I mean, they look strong and all that. I wouldn't say when you look like that, I don't know if you're necessarily healthy looking. I don't know if you think to yourself, this is the image of health. I don't know if you look at this and think that to yourself. I don't know if I ever thought that. I don't think I ever really thought that. If you look at these, right, the spitting image of health. So anyways, And his brother, you know, his brother is like pretty much Rich Piana's age. Aesthetics, I don't know. Anyways, I'm just kind of rambling about this stuff. Some of you remember. Stay Myron. Okay, let's get to something else. How about another one? Another kind of rando, interesting. And then I want to see if we can get into this other thing here together. We'll do it together. First person drone warfare. Kind of classic, wide scope of topics I'm into. We've been kind of following, right? It's a new world out there, right? With this, they call it the TikTok war. Some were calling it TikTok wars. You know, kind of the first like kinetic wars filmed and widely posted on the internet that you could watch live streamed at times. You could watch full campaigns by just individual soldiers who just privately post their footage up because they want to. And so in this age of warfare, there's been the drone attack. You're familiar with it a little bit. I mean, the autonomous ones are scary enough, I guess. But then you got the ones where you got guys operating them, first-person view. They put on the thing. They put on the goggles. And the thing about these drones is they're superior, at least for the time being, to the autonomous drones because you make these quick decisions as a person. You're like, is that a branch? Is that just dust? And a simple branch could disable the drone, and you need this thing to get right where it needs to get to so it could blow up, right? So you can imagine just how deadly a operator of these things, of these drones, can get. It's just kind of interesting to me. So this is the post. Blogger Mad Dogs describes modifications of Russian frontline trenches against Ukrainian FPVs and bomber drones. So basically how to survive in the drone era, tricks of modern fortification. Frontline architecture is no longer about trench machine gun grenade. Trench machine gun grenade. Which I guess is supposed to tell you a little bit about frontline architecture. Let's see what we can learn here. Okay. I think this is a drone view. I think this is the view of a drone. I don't know why they chose this music. Oh, it's like all this netting and all this stuff. Making it real difficult. Narrow. Oh, I guess they couldn't get in there. Real narrow stuff. Terrible thing, huh? Warfare. I'm glad I'm not the one having to learn about drone tactics. Enemy methods, how they lure us into FPV. I guess you gotta get the funk. You gotta get the funk music edits. So that's a different post. So I wanted to learn about that together with you guys. 888-775-3773. Now we gotta get into this one. This is another one we'll get into together. But I had written this down knowing that it might be a good topic, but it was just like minutes before coming in here. So let's check it out together. Because I keep seeing these ads for something they're calling Mind Bloom. Another company calls it Joyous. And what it is ketamine therapy. I keep seeing this go around. And the little ads I've seen seem somewhat dystopian to me. We're going to have to watch some of this marketing together and see if we can find some of what I saw. Because I gather the public is dealing with things, okay? They're dealing with mental health issues, depression. They're begging for a breakthrough. And the little bit of advertising I've seen here, these ketamine therapies promise to, give you inner peace and other things I saw, like inner understanding or something like that. Oh, someone had said something like, I felt amazing about myself. I never felt that way. Let's see if we can find some of that marketing for this, what they're calling ketamine therapy. And ketamine is, what I gather, is some sort of sedative, some sort of very powerful sedative. I remember hearing it. I don't know if that was just like a internet or wives' tale kind of thing. They call it horse tranquilizers. I don't know if that's just like stuff you say to so that people stay away from it, but I gather it's a very powerful sedative tranquilizer type thing with a number of other effects, like psychoactive effects, like euphoria and other things. It's being used as a sort of therapy for a number of things.
MindBloom is helping people achieve life-changing clinical and personal breakthroughs, alchemizing both the psychedelic medication, psychiatric care from psychiatric clinicians, coaches we call psychedelic guides, and a lot of content and meditations and programs into this really transformational experience that, because it's delivered at home, costs a lot less and is a lot more convenient for people to receive.
Bloom box kit. It looks like they have like a little timer. I guess the ketamine itself, some sort of journal. You got like this mask. I've seen some images of people sitting down with someone. And so you're tripping. You got a trip sitter. You're tripping and you have a trip sitter, and they're going to be like, and so tell me how that feels. Let's see if we could gather some more of this marketing of this ketamine therapy stuff. Okay, because it was really on the fly kind of thing. I just seen it. And it'd be cool if we could kind of see some of this marketing together, kind of gather more of a picture of what I was seeing here. Ketamine therapy.
What if you could build a life you love and heal your brain instead of numb your emotions? What if you opened your mind with MindBloom? Our at-home ketamine therapy programs are more than medicine. We provide the right balance of structure and support for your personal journey. And after thousands of client transformations,
this is soaking music.
You could say we have healing down to a science. First, you'll discuss your treatment goals with a licensed clinician. And if approved, we'll send your Bloom box and prescription right to your home. Because all 6 sessions in your program take place in the comfort of your space.
Proven, it's like we have healing down to a science. It almost reminds me of, I was reading about this. It was some clinician or therapist. Who was the man that figured out how, what was it? It was someone had figured out that positive and negative reinforcement was very, very powerful. B.F. Skinner, psychologist and behaviorist, who pioneered operant conditioning. Okay, you got a rat, you got an animal, and you made it feel pain when you wanted it to not do something, and gave it pleasure and positive reinforcement when you wanted it to do something. It turned out to be very effective. And then when they let him try this on people, it turned out to be very effective. And I read somewhere, I don't know how true this is, that the operant conditioning world of thinking has been pretty much applied in all sorts of things, in schools and policing and in correctional facilities and all sorts of places. And it's found a lot of success. And I read somewhere that this man thought it was so powerful that he used it on his own children. And he was so confident of this methodology. But then I read that this kid ended up having depression issues later in life. So that's what that's made me think of. We got healing down to a science.
Download the MindBloom app, your hub for treatment milestones, intention setting, hours of content, music, and more. Here, you'll match with a guide, our resident experts in supporting psychedelic therapy. Set aside a few hours for your first session, even though the effects of the medicine typically last just under 1 hour. You'll want to be in the right mindset to prepare with your guide, stay present in the experience, journal, and discuss how to integrate in the weeks ahead. You're probably wondering, what does ketamine therapy actually feel like? Mind Bloom clients have described their sessions as gentle, reflective, and dreamlike, and some report peaceful sensations like lifting or floating. Every mind and session is different, but you might start to notice changes in a short time. This is where neuroplasticity comes in. That's right. Ketamine therapy helps fuel new neural connections in your brain so you can form fresh perspectives. And
yeah, because you're in a suggestive state. Now, this is pure. I'm not a scientist. I don't know. But I'm starting to gather a picture of this, right? Like, no, it's not the ketamine that's healing you. It's this therapy. It's the session. It's this whole thing, right? You got to have this whole thing where your mind is opened and the ketamine, now you're having neural connections. Okay, I'm watching this. I'm gathering Mind Bloom. You know that the ketamine is not, it's a therapy. It's an internal thing here. And so I've started, and so a part of me, my spidey senses go off, right? I'm like a little suspicious. I'm like, okay, what's happening here? You got someone in a suggestive state and you're like, hey, how does that make you feel? Pretty bad. Why don't you let go? Wow, I feel like letting go. It might make it easier for some people. I don't know. But the letting go is, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's strange to me. It's strange to me. It's strange to me. And I was trying to find the marketing where I found some of these clients, and then we'll get to calls, describing what was good about this Mind Bloom experience. And they were all describing, I'm hoping to find it here, in fact. They were all describing what I think is euphoria. It was like client after client describing what they got from it. And they were like, I had never felt this good about myself. I had never thought the world was so bright. I had never thought connecting with people would be so positive. Hopefully we could find it, but it was a number of these people describing their experience. I'm like, yeah, that's euphoria. That's what drugs do. Like, this sounds like a bunch of roommates I had who were like going through experiences. And, down the road,
this is where
like anybody else, pretty much like anybody else. But, they tripped in their past. Look, I'm poo-pooing hard. But let's see if we can finish this video, see if we can find some of those user experiences I mentioned, and then we'll get to calls. But I thought this was anyways. It makes your brain fire up in places that are usually dormant, Nit.
Plasticity comes in. That's right. Ketamine therapy helps fuel new neural connections in your brain so you can form fresh perspectives and change your behaviors and outlook to realize improvements in your daily life.
I can't tell you how many euphoric people I talked to who said stuff like that.
Here's an outlook in your brain so you can form fresh perspectives and change your behaviors and outlook to realize improvements in your daily life.
Realizing improvements, changing your perspective, although I bet you that's the precursor to true change. I don't know what I'm saying with that. I suspect that I still hold on to the suspicion that it's probably a true precursor to true change. Fine. Changing your perspective and all that. But I can't tell you how many euphoric people I've talked to under the effects of euphoria who have had a perspective change and have had all sorts of realizations of what they must do.
Perspectives and change your behaviors and outlook to realize improvements in your daily life, like healthier habits, less stress, and more optimism. With more than 10 focus areas to choose from, you can align your coaching, newfound awareness, and integration to get the most out of your treatment and see yourself and the world around you begin to bloom.
You know why this would even be helpful? I know this would even be helpful for most people who would even consider this, because the type of person that considers it, it's like, put it like this. They love direction. It's like, just tell me what to do and what to be. And so for I think people really would find comfort and positive, like something in this. Don't get me wrong. Now, what the heck is comfort? Like, comfort might as well be related to death. But yeah, I bet you I'm watching this and I'm thinking, I bet you so many people would find something in this and like comfort and you, even like, the stress is lowered, which would result in like a improved life, even improved quality of life, even if a little bit. Because people are begging for a story. They can't wait for an imitation, even if they know it's an imitation. If it just is just right enough, people love it. They're really fine with it. Jesse was asking earlier, I think, don't people know they're talking to an AI? Yeah, they do. They don't care. It's good enough. That's how most people are. Don't they know that it's right, that it's false? Yeah, I think they do. They may never say that. They may never say it out loud. But I suspect they do. It's just good enough. Anyways, okay, what else? Ketamine therapy, mind blue. Look, might have to come back to this one. We might have to come back to this one. I have had experiences on psychedelics where I felt so much love for everyone and understanding. I imagine most religious text writers have had these experiences. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know if those religious people had anything different, sir. I don't know if I'd see much difference between the two things there. Let's move it on here. I got a call here. We got Jep, Kentucky. Appreciate your call. You're on the air.
What's up, man?
How you doing, sir? Jep on the air?
I'm doing all right.
Thank you for your call.
Yeah. Had a comment on the drones in Russia and Ukraine.
Okay, yeah, sure, go ahead.
I don't remember what the site is called in Russia, but it's an old radio tower that was decommissioned years and years ago. I mean, Russia literally could convert that into a high-frequency radio tower for, like, drones to go further and rockets. I mean, it's just that simple if they wanted to really think about it.
To do what again?
If Russia really wanted to do damage, they could convert that whole decommissioned tower into like a radio, like a high frequency tower for drones to travel far.
Right. They're limited. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
They're definitely limited in how far the batteries, not one is the batteries, two is the communication, how far. I'm not familiar with any daisy chaining of airspaces here with drones that the military's doing. It seems like it's teams and they operate in a set area.
Well,
so
see,
it's not
the
like you can send them out far. Now you got the ones that are up high, way high up. I don't know how those operate, but those go far. Those go really far.
It would also help rockets travel further. Yep.
So you're giving the Russians some ideas?
No, I'm just surprised they haven't done this or done anything with it.
What makes you think they haven't? Maybe they've got all sorts of radio stuff going.
No, you can go online and people in Russia will post videos of them touring, like sneaking into it, and it's all abandoned.
Like military stuff abandoned?
Yeah, the whole site's been abandoned since after the Cold War.
Oh, well, yeah, that tower, but I don't know. I have to imagine the Russians are.
Nobody's really.
I have to imagine they got their radio needs met.
Well, see, it was for basically just basic radios back in the day, and then everything all switched over, and there was no use for the tower. Even then, they could have converted over to, what was popular.
I'm seeing if I could. I'm trying to find this tower.
I forgot what it's called.
Duga radar?
It's like a really huge, and there's like multiple like satellites connected in a grid, and it's standing up.
Not familiar, but interesting info, Jep. Interesting info. It's a big country out there, this Russia. We don't know what they're up to. But hey, thank you, Jep. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. Be safe.
Yeah, call me again.
I will.
888-775-3773. Derek, Nashville, Tennessee. Thanks for your call. You're on the air.
How you doing, sir?
How you been, Derek? All is well.
All is well here, too. I hate to admit this. I tried that Mind Bloom stuff years ago.
Oh, yeah?
Before I came across Bond, of course. It was like 2020 over COVID. And,
no way.
And the best way I can describe it is it's the opposite of the silent prayer. I found it terrifying.
Wow.
And it's like all thoughts all the time. They won't go away. And I don't even remember this little session that they do. But I kept asking, like, when will this end? How quickly will this stop?
Oh, my gosh.
And I
don't mean to laugh, but it's terrible.
There was nothing. I didn't find it euphoric at all. I was like, I'm throwing this in the trash. I didn't get a refund, unfortunately. But it's the opposite of the silent prayer. Did me zero good. I not recommend it. The marketing's fantastic, though. It really is.
I did not expect someone to call me who had attempted using some of this stuff. I really appreciate you calling me about that.
Yeah, I have no idea. Like,
I gotta say, when you say the thoughts get stronger and all that, I mean, I bet you all mental states that are not sober minded do that. I bet you, because I remember I was watching this video and it was somebody describing the levels of being high on pot. It was like a funny stick figure video, and it was like level 1, you get the munchies. Level 2, right? And it was like, and it said something like, it was something like one of the early levels. It was like level 3, your thoughts get louder. And I'm like, wait, what? And I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, I remember smoking pot. Like, it's like almost the moment I was high, it was the moment my thoughts were, I don't know how else to describe it, but louder. It was like they were louder. And I'm thinking, that's kind of when I drink alcohol. I bet you all non-sober states of mind is like you're opening your radio antenna to some stuff you don't know. I think that's what's happening. That's just my personal conspiracy.
Well, yeah, because if you're on any substance, you're not present.
Yeah.
And it's funny you brought that up on your show, because the first thing I thought is this is the opposite of the silent, because you can't do anything about it. I found it terribly unpleasant and never touched it again. So, but I would not recommend trying it. Nothing euphoric about it. I wanted to tell you about something else, actually.
Sure.
I had the most wonderful thing happen, and it will sound weird. My house set on fire, and it was real bad. And basically everything's ruined, and I was freaking out for a minute. And I thought about when, Jesse's saying, like, you don't know what to pray for. God knows what's perfect for you. And then I just stopped. I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'm like, I don't know why. I'm like, it's just stuff. And then I noticed, you have to get other people involved, and I'm just kind of going through the process, and everyone else seems to be much more upset about my house than I am. And I just didn't, I think in the past I would have just totally overreacted to the situation. And, I had a friend of mine call, and he's like, what's going on? I'm like, oh yeah, my house set on fire. And he's like, why didn't you tell me? I'm like, why would I? There's not a whole lot to talk about. It's just a situation. And I don't know, I felt real peaceful about all of it. And I just think it's amazing. It's like, I think I got to see something about myself when it happened. And so it's just, I don't know, it's kind of cool. And so, it's just something you deal with, but yeah, it's really nice. And
I might feel worse about it than you right here, just in this call, hearing about it.
It's just like, and I had a minute.
Home, right? Like, you own this house?
Huh?
This was like your house.
I had a long-term lease with them with an option
and all
to
your
buy
stuff in it, and
Yeah, I mean, all my stuff's ruined, all of it. Like,
wow.
You know, I can save a TV and some of my clothes, but it's all got cancerous stuff in it now.
Totally.
And so, I'm like, well,
how does that even happen? If you can say, don't say any details you can or don't want.
The breaker didn't flip on a food dehydrator. I was just having a nice night, and and I did. I was like boo-hooed it for a minute, and I go, why am I all upset? This is what am I upset about? I go, all right, well, we're just going to deal with it.
Yeah. So what's happening now?
I'm in a hotel room and, you know, going through insurance and things like that. But no, it's perfect. Like
it's just one thing and then the next, and that's just it.
Yeah, and to the next one. It's like, and I'm like, well, I got to get back to work and find something to eat, and you know, it's just everyone else.
That's real. Yeah,
that's real, right? And everyone else is like, well, why aren't you more upset? And I go, what am I going to do about it?
That's awesome.
There's no, but like Bond is the opposite of mind bloom. That's how I would
I
describe all
sincerely
of that.
love hearing that, man. I'm glad to hear that.
Yep.
The reaction to all of that.
But yeah, man, I'm telling you, you guys are the best. I'm so grateful for all of you and what you've done for me. So I really appreciate the help and the guidance. So I won't take up too much more of your time.
Derek.
So
yeah,
less ketamine, more prayer, I guess.
Yeah.
So
watch that.
You have a good one, sir.
Thank you, Derek. Call me again, man.
You know I will.
That's amazing. Can y'all take it or leave it when your stuff burns down? You know who can't? Anybody who this is not even like about mind bloom or ketamine users. It's just like, think about it like that. Or pot users. It's more this. Anybody who requires the external to deal with the internal. So those people cannot handle a house burning down. And those people, who knows what path they'll go down after that house burns down. They might end up killing somebody. And you're like, wow, yeah, Nick, that's crazy, man. Glad that's not me. If you need the external to deal with the internal, to understand the internal, to make sense, and like if you use the external to feel better, that's you. Let's see here. Let me get to Rick, Hampton, Virginia. Appreciate your call. You're on the air.
What's up, brother Nick? What's happening, my brother?
No complaints here, Rick. All is well.
Everything's going good, man.
Yeah. Big time.
Hey, I just wanted to think, man, what you think gonna happen with President Trump and President Vladimir Putin?
Are there some developments? I'm not familiar. Or do you mean in general? Is there something?
Well, they're supposed to have
happening?
a meeting today in Alaska. Well, President Trump and Putin supposed to meet today in
that's right. I heard about
Alaska.
That's right. And they met already, huh? Or did they?
I'm not sure. I'm not even sure.
I gotta do my homework on this one.
They have. Yeah. So you think Putin's gonna do the ceasefire?
You know what? I'm not sure, but I'm gonna get myself informed. See if we can inform the audience too, maybe tomorrow or something. But definitely gonna look into it. You know what? I hope so.
That would be really nice. What's that?
I said I hope so.
Yeah, because that's more money that can be saved. You know, fighting. You know, instead of going on fighting wars, man, keep all our money here, man, that we can keep, man. You know,
and end the killing and have the world just move from this chapter, whatever it is, whatever.
Yeah, you know, this I'll tell you, Zelensky, man, that man got a lot of money from us, man, with this war.
Yeah, big time, man.
So I'm just put this war behind us, man, and you know, just get it over with, man. So I'm just interested. They're supposed to meet today, so I was thinking y'all probably heard something from it.
You know, it's interesting. I'm glad to see some of this. I'm not familiar with the details, but part of me is glad to see it in that, you know, I mean, if you take in what seemed to me the kind of like the general consensus from the smart people is that, you know, Trump got, the harshest critics will say totally fooled by Russia into thinking that they could make a deal, and he's just a he's just a Russian despot who just wants more land. And that's kind of the harshest criticism. But basically, that Putin has Trump, I don't know, America, Europe, and he's got the strategic upper hand because they're winning the war, and or at least they were back when I heard this. Back when I heard this, that at least they were. And so the thinking was, here's Trump, whether forced or he wanted to from the beginning, going to end up going opposing Russia just like the deep state wanted and all that. So that's the stuff I heard. I'm glad to see this, that he's going to Alaska. When the world says, hey, this guy, you already lost. There's no deal being made. There's no way you could do it. I'm glad to see some of this. I'll look into it, Rick.
Yeah, that'll be a good one, man. And it was an earlier call with Jesse today, man. A guy was calling saying that it's something what the Hebrew Israelites think and other pro-black people think. They think all the Jews were black and stuff. And and to be honest, man, I believe the Jews were all shades. You know what I mean?
Like from the beginning?
Yeah, from the beginning. Adam and Eve were biracial. But
I heard you say that before. I don't know what to make of that.
Because the way I look at it, I was reading in Ezra. I was reading Ezra chapter 9 yesterday, and it was saying how the Israelites went in and intermingled with the Canaanites, the Hittites, all of them. Them people are different shades of colors.
And when you look at Jews today, I mean, there seem to be all sorts of Jews, right? They seem to be, I don't know how to describe this, but I think
your Ashkenazi Jews, your Ashkenazi Jews.
There's a version of Jew for every culture, for every race. There's like a Jew version. Is that crazy to say? I mean, that's what it seems like. I don't know what I'm saying with that. Look, there's like a white mixed Jew. There's like a black mixed, like an Ethiopian Jew. There seems to be like I don't know what I'm saying here, Rick. Help me out.
You know what?
The Jews went in and mixed with everybody, no?
Well, man, I tell you, man, I just believe God is so awesome that he can make all shades of people. You even have some blacks say that everybody came from black people. Now, how can that be? You know what I mean? Because if you have an all-black person, two black people, if they don't have any genes whatsoever, they're going to turn out black. So if they get and have a different shade, obviously they mingle with another color, man.
Because they got it in there somewhere. So that it can be expressed.
Right. I don't understand, just like, it just seems like to me most blacks tend to make color more. And, I have never ran into hardly no white people saying that blacks wasn't in the Bible. I said, well, who these people be talking to that be saying this?
Why, does people say blacks are not?
People. Well, that's what the pro-blacks be saying. They try to erase us out the Bible,
Oh, I've never heard that.
And, yeah, that's now they did try and erase some of the black culture, but today, man, you don't hardly hear that. But most people are trying to get along, man. And like I said, most of the white people I saw and been around, they have been some kind people. They are willing to help.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, with the liberal Democrats and liberals, they have it, man, that they like they're trying to start a race war. You know what I mean?
Terrible.
Yeah, and people got to wake up and see for themselves, man. It's just like we know it's inflation. We know it's firsthand it's inflation, but yet the media say that it ain't bad. Who you listen to? What God revealed to you that there's inflation, you listen to the media. You know what I'm saying now, Brother Nick?
Fair enough, Rick. I totally agree. I don't know if I think that happened in my lifetime, and maybe in just the past few years. It's hard to like really put down the dates when this happened, but it seemed like somewhere recently, I don't know, just maybe they were always lying, the media, Rick, I'm talking about, but it's like when you heard about in school how the Soviets had media that just totally lied to the people. I mean, it just seems like that's how it is right now.
Well, see,
they said the communists, they had the media and they lied about everything. I mean, it seems like that right now.
To be honest, Nick, like what's going on in Israel with the Palestinians, you don't really know what's going on out there. First of all, we ain't even out there. We just going by what the media is telling us. And we really don't know what's going on out there for sure. What did they do?
What are you referring to?
No, I'm saying, well, with Israel and Palestine, with the Palestinians and the Hamas and stuff, we don't know what's really going on out there. The only reason why we know what's going on is what the media is telling us. That's it.
Yeah, and I see a whole bunch of I agree.
And and we don't know. And they try, and the media makes Israel saying they up there attacking innocent people, killing babies and stuff. And then maybe Israel, and then they're not showing that the Palestinians are provoking Israel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of lying on all sides on this.
Right, because see, I'm like, just because Israel was God's chosen people, that don't mean if Israel get out the will of God, they're going to be just like everybody else. You know what I mean? You out the will of God.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like
fair enough.
You hear blacks say we're the original Hebrews. I just ask them, why don't you start speaking Hebrew? You know what I mean? If you're Hebrew, well, you should be able to speak Hebrew.
Right, like really be about it. But there are black Hebrews in America.
Oh, those guys, they're totally lost, man. They are totally lost, man. They are totally based on race.
Yeah, it really is.
And
Rick,
what'd you say, Nick?
No, Rick, I'm saying I gotta go. We're in the last minute here.
Okay. I didn't mean to hold you. I'm sorry.
No.
Okay. Well, thanks for taking my call, brother Nick. Love you guys. Know we gotta keep the news coming, man. Y'all keep up the good work. Love y'all. Y'all be blessed.
Thank you so much, Rick.
All right, man. Y'all. I'll talk tomorrow.
Folks, we gotta go. That's the end of the show. We're here, really, really at the end here. So thank you so much for the calls, the topics, the super chats. We'll get back to everybody tomorrow. Make sure you call me back tomorrow, 888-775-3773. Well, I don't know. I went autopilot there. I'm just saying, call me tomorrow if you're there holding. Other than that, folks, let me see here. Super chats and everybody's support noted. Thank you so much, Rumble. Very nice. All right, folks, more American Anchor Baby tomorrow. But for now, I must go. So take care and bye-bye. Oh, Lil Nick, too. He's got to say bye. Bye.
The views, information, thoughts, and opinions expressed during this show are the individual's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of the JLP Network or Bond. Their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. The material and information presented here is for general information purposes only. The JLP Network and Bond name and all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owner, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service.